He should, though.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, there are 90 days to negotiate with countries. According to people at the White House, they've already had a lot of countries get in touch to try and do new deals. Is it right to judge this now, or should we be a little bit more patient, notwithstanding the fairly reckless way that this has so far been rolled out?
Well, to be sure, Piers, there is a lot of truth to the fact that all of these countries are coming to make deals with the Trump administration. They were doing it before. They'll continue to do it. And I'm rooting for the United States. And I think most Americans are rooting for the Trump administration to succeed. But it's impossible to ignore the fact that trade deals take months, if not years, to negotiate. And negotiating 90 of them in 90 days is not only unprecedented, it's basically, will they get 10? Will they get 20? Will they get 30? I hope they get as many as they can, but what is
to be honest, it's actually, we've done this before. That's the wild part that nobody likes to admit, is that, yeah, we've done this before. And I'm about to show y'all proof that there's been times that, yeah, we've made deals with a massive amount of countries all at once. So it's not like he's not talking about something really that we have not achieved before in American history.
The cost of that turbulence. What is the benefit versus the price that we pay while we're subjecting our economy and all of these other economies, by the way, all these economies around the world that are so dependent on us, to all of this suffering and pain while we, change our policy this way and that way. It just has to be weighed against the perceived benefits. So it's complex. And, I'm not saying that they won't succeed to some degree, but it's impossible to ignore the fact that the way that they're doing it is causing massive, massive damage, not just to our economy. And I agree with Gordon that, it's time to confront Chinese predatory and unfair trade practices across the board. But we get one shot at this. And I think isolating China is going to be really difficult, especially when China is increasing its relationship with all the countries around the world that we're also alienating at the same time. So, yeah, it's not impossible that he could succeed, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good because of the way it's gone so far. We have to be honest about that.
Nope. Chinese propaganda that's been proven false. All the countries are kind of like staying clear of China because it's like, one, what are you going to do? They're going to export their products into that country and send it here? We'll just tariff the hell out of that country. One, and we already have countries lining up for negotiations. So I don't think China's really going to want to work with anybody who's already working with us. And if they do, we're going to look at the kind of side eye like, yeah, bro, you know what this means, right? If you countries want to go ahead and do this business with China, you will be highly tariffed. And the countries that don't play that game could dominate in the industry that are playing around it. So it's really like a lose-lose if you try to go against America. I mean, like I said, it's either somebody else can take advantage of our market or you can crumble because you're not in our market. It's a lose-lose situation, okay? And y'all got to get over that.
With him at the weekend at the
hey, America, baby, America.
UFC, and we'll come to that in Florida, where he got a roaring ovation. There's no doubt the country, as always with Trump, is split, where a lot of liberals are in complete, raging fury about him. And at the same time, in places like Florida, he can do no wrong. But I saw a poll on CNN this morning, which has actually been, the polling they've been doing on him has been quite positive until now. But the polling on do Americans trust Trump on the economy, and do they blame him or Biden for the state of the economy right now? They've never been worse for Trump. So now the American people have moved from blaming Biden to now blaming Trump, and his own approval rating on the economy is plummeting pretty rapidly. Now, I know Trump well, as you do, and he won't like that. He won't like the fact that his economic polling is plummeting. So this has to work quite quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, Piers, I think, well, first of all, the just him walking into the UFC, like you said, we're going to get into, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, I saw Michael Jackson when I was a kid, and it was at that.
Actually, no. When you say in the 1920s, that is the most uneducated way to look at the Great Depression. I'm going to tell you why. Because you can look up anywhere before tariffs, before this hysteria about tariffs, everybody's saying the main problem with the Depression was it was money tight. Actually, if you still look it up, they'll say the main problem with the Depression, we were money tight, and the Fed refused to print out money. So this is one of the reasons why we have a distrust of the Feds. Now, the tariffs play a part into it. Yeah, but the main problem, if you are being well historically factual about this, is it was a money tight situation that the Feds refused to fix. That's it. I mean, to sit there and blame it on tariffs alone is extremely inaccurate.
That level, but we'll get into that.